Hello everyone, let's have a look at this particular puzzle. A very interesting puzzle. Let's have a look at it. Okay, 6 agents A1 to A6 studied photograph of 6 terrorists T1 to T7 whose names are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, not in order. The group of 6 agents were then shown in random order one photograph of each terrorist, and they were asked to write the names of the terrorists in the order in which the photographs were presented. The agent submitted the following answers. Okay, the table represent the answers given by agent. Okay, now each terrorist was correctly identified by at least one agent. Okay, read this carefully. Each terrorist was correctly identified by at least one agent. The number of correct answers for each agent was different, and none of them had all answers correct. Okay, so let's concentrate on this particular statement. Okay, none of them answered all. Okay, none of them had all answered correct. Okay, so because of this particular statement, this set becomes a bit tricky. Okay, if there is a statement like there is exactly one agent who identified all 7 terrorists correctly, then this will be the easy question. Okay, but over here it is given that none of them identified all the terrorists. Okay, none of them identified all the terrorists. Okay, none of them had all answers correct. Okay everyone, and the number of correct answers for each agent was different. So what does it mean? Let's have a look at it. The number of correct answers. Okay, number of correct answers for each agent, it can be 0, it can be 1. Okay, if it is 0 means there is a agent who did not identify any of the terrorists correctly. Okay, 1 means there is a agent who identified exactly one terrorist correctly. Okay, 2 means there is a agent who identified exactly 2 terrorists correctly, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Okay, there is no any agent who identified all the 7 terrorists correctly. Okay everyone, so the question here is find number of. Okay, the question here is find number of correct answers for each agent. Okay, means agent A1 is going to identify how many terrorists. Okay, agent A2 is going to identify how many terrorists. Agent A3 is going to identify how many terrorists that we are supposed to find. Okay everyone, so let's start with this set. Hold on. So what I will do is I will copy this table over here. Okay, so let's observe this table carefully. Okay everyone, if you observe this carefully, you will come to know that A, okay, terrorist A is going to be which terrorist? Okay, terrorist A is going to be which terrorist? Terrorist A is going to be T1 or T2. Okay everyone, in the column of T1 and in the column of T2, okay, A is available in the column of T1 and T2 only. Okay, A is not available in any other column. So from this we can say that terrorist A is either T1 or T2. Okay everyone, but over here we need to do some guesswork because there is no any agent who identified all the terrorists correctly. Okay, so we need to do some guesswork. So our guesswork is, so over here we concluded that terrorist A is going to be either T1 or T2. Okay, if you look at the column of T1, okay, if you look at the column of T1, there are only A and C's are there. Okay, C is there at only one place. Okay everyone, and if you look at all other rows, if you look at all other columns, C is available at lots of places. Okay, so my first guesswork, okay, my first assumption over here is T1. Okay, terrorist T1 is C. Okay, my first assumption over here is terrorist T1 is C. Okay everyone, terrorist C1 is C, terrorist T1 is C. Okay, so which terrorist can be terrorist A? Okay, which terrorist can be terrorist A? Okay, T2 is going to be terrorist A. There is no any other possibility for A. Okay, then T2 is going to be A. T2 is going to be A. Okay, now we know that C is terrorist T1. Okay, so C cannot be T3, C cannot be T5. Okay everyone, then after that you can see that terrorist 5 is going to be which person? Terrorist 5 is going to be E. Okay everyone, terrorist 5 is going to be E. So terrorist 6 cannot be E. Okay everyone, terrorist 6 cannot be E. After this, now we are left with what? Okay, we know that terrorist T1 is C, terrorist T2 is A, and T5 is E. Now we need to identify about T3, T4, T6 and T7. Okay, so over here we need to make some assumption now, but we cannot make a multiple assumption. Our first assumption was what? Terrorist T1 is C. Okay, our first assumption is terrorist T1 is equal to C. We cannot make any other assumption. So what I will do is I will make few cases here. Okay everyone, I will make few cases. Let's have a look at cases. Hold on just 1 second. Okay everyone, let's have a look at it. So over here my case is going to be what? My case is, let's say terrorist T3 is B. Okay everyone, terrorist T3 is B is my first case and terrorist T3 is F. This is my second case. Okay everyone, because terrorist T3 can be B or F. Okay, in the first case I took terrorist T3 as B. Okay everyone, in the first case I took terrorist T3 as B. Okay, like this. So terrorist 7 cannot be B. Terrorist 7 cannot be B. So terrorist 7 becomes G. Terrorist 7 becomes G. Okay everyone. So now terrorist 4 cannot be G. Terrorist 4 cannot be G. Terrorist 4 cannot be. Terrorist 4 cannot be B. Okay everyone. So terrorist 4 is going to be either D or F. Terrorist 4 is going to be either D or F. And terrorist 6 is going to be F or D. Okay everyone. So now hold on. So from this we can see that A3, agent A3 is going to identify 0 number of terrorists. Okay, that is fixed. Now look here, hold on, the other data is not available now. So hold on, now let's work on second possible case. In second possible case we considered that terrorist T3 is F, terrorist T3 is F. Okay everyone, terrorist T3 is F. 1 second, terrorist T3 is F. Then F cannot be terrorist 4. Okay, F cannot be terrorist 4. So over here terrorist 4 is going to be which person? Either D or G or B. Okay, D or G or B. But hold on, now terrorist 6. Okay, terrorist 6 cannot be F. Terrorist 6 cannot be F. Okay everyone, because F is terrorist 3, so terrorist 6 cannot be F here. Okay, so terrorist 6 is going to be D. Terrorist 6 is going to be D. Okay everyone, terrorist 6 is going to be D. So as terrorist 6 is D, D cannot be terrorist 4. D cannot be terrorist 4. So terrorist 4 is going to be either B or G. Terrorist 7 is going to be either B or G. Okay everyone. So over here in the second situation, what we can conclude that, look here, what we can conclude that, hold on, we cannot conclude the number of answers for any of the agent. Okay everyone. So hold on, after this what we can do, let's try to identify. So over here we know that agent can have 0 answers correct, 1 answer correct, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 answers correct. Okay, there is no any agent who is going to have all 7 answers correct. Okay, total 6 agents are there and every agent is going to have different number of answers correct. Okay, these are the total 7 possible answers. These are total 7 possibilities are there. Okay, out of these 7 possibilities, 1 possibility is not going to happen. If you look at A6, is going to have at least 4 questions correct. Okay, A6 is going to have at least 4 or maximum 5 answers correct. Okay everyone. Then if you look at agent 1, agent 1 is going to have either 2 or 4 answers correct. Okay, either 2 or 3 or 4. Agent 2, if you look at agent 2, agent 2 is going to have either 2 or 3 or 4 answers correct. Okay, if you look at agent 4, okay, if you look at agent 4, then agent 4 is going to have either 2 or 3 answers correct. Okay everyone. Agent 5 is going to have either 1 or 2 answers correct. Okay, so over here what we can see that there is no one who is going to have 6 answers correct. Okay, there is no one who is going to have 6 answers correct. Okay everyone, means these 6 agents are going to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 answers correct. Okay everyone, so who can have 5 answers correct? Who can have 5 answers correct? Only A6 can have 5 answers correct. Okay everyone, so A6 can have 5 answers correct. It is possible when T6 is terrorist D. T6 has to be terrorist D then. Okay everyone, T6 has to be terrorist D then. Okay, then terrorist 4 becomes F. Terrorist 4 becomes F. Okay everyone, terrorist 4 becomes F. And terrorist 6 becomes D. So over here the number of correct answers for agent 1, number of correct answers for agent 1 is 2. Number of correct answers for agent 2 is 4. Number of correct answers for agent 3 is 0. For agent 4 it is 2. Okay, agent 4 is having 3 answers correct. Okay everyone, agent 5 is having exactly 2 answers correct. Okay, so agent 1 and agent 5 cannot have equal number of answers correct. Okay, so that is why the first case remains invalid. Okay everyone, so what I will do is, let me delete first case now so that we can have some space for the calculation. Okay everyone, so an agent can have 0 answers correct, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 answers correct. Okay, these are total 7 possibilities. Out of these 7 possibilities, 1 possibility is not going to happen and the remaining 6 possibilities are going to happen. Every agent is going to have different number of correct answers. Okay everyone, so now agent 1 can have 1 answer correct or 2 answer correct. Okay, depending on T4 and T7. Agent 2 can have 3 answers correct or 4 answers correct. Okay, then agent 3 can have 1 answer correct or 2 or 3 answers correct. Then after that, agent 4 can have 0 or 1 answer correct. Agent 5 can have 2 or 3 or 4 answers correct. Agent 6 can have 5 answers correct or 6 answers correct. Okay everyone, okay, 5 or 6, because 5 or 6, because why it is like this? Because there is no any agent who is going to answer all 7 questions correct. Okay everyone, so now how we can solve this further? Which can have 5 answers correct? Okay, only agent 6 can have 5 answers correct. Okay everyone, or 6 answers correct. So over here, one second, what we can do here is, from this we can conclude that, look here, T4 is not going to B and T7 is not going to G. Okay everyone, if T4 becomes B, then T7 becomes G. In that case, agent 6 is going to have all 7 answers correct, and that is not going to happen. Means what? T4 is not going to be B. Okay, T4 is not going to be B and T7 is not going to be G. Means T4 is G. Okay, T4 is G and T7 is B. T7 is B. Okay everyone, T7 is B. So over here you can see that agent 1 is having 1 answer correct, agent 2 is having 2 answers correct, agent 3 is having 3 answers correct, agent 4 is having 0 answers correct. Okay, agent 5 is having 4 answers correct and agent 6 is having 5 answers correct. Okay everyone, so this is how we can solve this set. Basically this is a assumption based set. Okay, we assumed that terrorist T1 is C and then we solved this. Okay everyone, actually we don't have a data that every means there is exactly one agent who answers all the questions correctly. Okay, that is why we took it as assumption. Okay, the question is, after looking at the question, hold on, let me show you the question here. The question says that find the number of correct answers for each agent. Okay, so question is not like find the possible number of correct answers. Okay, so by reading this question we come to know that there is going to be exactly one valid case. Okay, there is going to be exactly one valid case, and this is that case. Okay everyone, this is how we can solve this question.